Greetings, gatekeepers, I'm Salirevs, and I have to apologize for not putting any video updates for previous months. I was busy, not just genuinely busy, but really focusing on the development of the game. There is no way I'll have enough strength to record myself talking about all the things that went into development during that period. But I will try to make a quick recap of what was added and what is planned. Let's get started. Starting from most recent news, I began making another map. It took some iterations to get to this point. And while old map ideas I've shown before will still be considered at some point later, I believe it's best to start from a big, open level with vast landscapes. This allows a lot of freedom right at the beginning of the game. Go anywhere you want and do whatever you find fun for yourself. It's a sandbox game after all. The process of creating such worlds is quite interesting. First, I used World Machine to generate a lot of different assets on their own. Dunes of sand, canyon cliffs, mountains, lakes. Then I took those separate elements and started to piece them together, like a puzzle, assembling the level I imagined. However, having a pretty height map is never enough. To decorate and bring it to life, we will need assets, like 3D models of rocks and vegetation, to put into the level. And to know exactly what type of assets the level will need before I'd model them, I needed some concept art to use as a reference. Without it, I could easily lose track of my own art direction. So here we go. Let me show you some of the pictures and briefly talk about them. The crossroads will be the first thing you see when you enter the game. I think it would be much better to have a little transition hub between levels, instead of just a boring selection menu. When you're in this non-physical plane, instead of a living, breathing body, you will be represented as a projection of your consciousness, pure energy. Then you go around and choose a physical world you'd prefer to live in for this play session. What you see here is the gateway, the point of entry of this map, the initial starting point from which you can fly out in any direction as your consciousness before you find yourself a body, a species to start your first life as. Despite that you can easily change bodies later, this is the first moment of discovery, very first moment of the game. The map is planned to have at least 4 of the species that you can find easily, all living in each corner of the plane, hatch from an egg and venture to your journey. One of starting villages, place that belongs to beautiful alien lizards. This race prefers to live in harmony between each other in a big family of 20 to 40 Hizathri. They share everything: food, knowledge, relationships, cubs. It also helps that they have a mental way of communication, allowing them to feel emotions of others and even have shared dreams. Hizathri are very loving creatures generally. However, there are many different cultures that might be different. But the ones on this map, in this village, are indeed very friendly and gentle. Make love, not war, a phrase would ideally suit them. Plus, that tentacle hair gives them a bit of a hippie look. They are also masters of sculpture, and therefore, here is the explanation of this giant statue of kissing dragons. They built it to inspire everyone. In this plane, Drinixian culture, in contrast with Hizathri, is a bit less friendly. They might share the knack for sculpture, but they respect might, agility, and combat abilities. They also like to hunt for sport, not like they couldn't go vegetarian. It would be just too boring for them, growing foods. Their base of operations is located in this mountain. They carve out the rock using the special laser tools and create their village in so-called negative space of stone. Almighty warriors have to maintain their strength throughout generations. Only strongest get to survive and pass on their genetics. And even though their consciousnesses that get to be born again are skillful pilots, the body is pretty damn important. This place is their sacred breeding grounds. They believe that the egg is their passageway into a better, stronger society. Kaluthri, the dragon species, they're just obsessed with this crystallic technology, tall structures, and they're just too lazy to build it all themselves. Well, building with their hands wouldn't be very comfortable anyway, because their arms are rather short, but having skyscrapers is indeed a very good thing when you can fly. So it's pretty convenient if you can plant and grow massive crystal structures with no extra effort. That's all concept art for now. Of course, I will be drawing more. This map is huge and it will take a long while until it's done. But let me mention one more art-related subject. Those models? I already sculpted a while ago. All of them will be in the game pretty soon. They have only one significant thing left for me to do. Retopology. Well, no, actually, two things. Animation as well. But at least they all share the same skeleton type, meaning that they will reuse same animations across different models. But retopology is, well, how to explain it? It's basically putting polygons on the sculpture by hand, one by one. Very tedious, so I think I better get an audiobook or something soon. Otherwise, it would be quite boring, like this. Some of the models will be put into the visualizator as well. And for that, I even purchased Amoore, the plugin that makes gorgeous looking fur in Unreal Engine 4. I can't wait to play with that. I still haven't had a chance after I bought it a few weeks ago. The past months were the most busy, yet sadly full of invisible work. As you might recall, we switched from Diablo 3-like top-down perspective, also known as 2.5D view, into a third-person 3D camera. And while it obviously changed all the art pipeline, what I didn't really expect is how much it changed all the gameplay ideas that we planned. None of them worked. No more. Combat, building, even character animations didn't make sense anymore. This was the time when I sat down, trashed the design document and started a new one. Well, over-exaggerating a bit, surely I didn't trash it. I still got some ideas back, converted them so they would fit into this new world perspective and a completely different gameplay. Some people might think about it as a setback, but I personally think that it improved the game a lot. Being a game designer is like assembling the pieces of a puzzle together. You and people around you all have different core ideas, but you've got to work to figure out how to exactly connect them. So for the player, they flow naturally and without interruptions of excessive or underdeveloped features. And by people around, I actually mean all of you, dear viewers, supporters on Patreon. I appreciate your feedback. It really helps me to understand what exactly you want from Planes of Existence. So keep it up. Always happy to hear your ideas and sometimes be inspired by them. Overall, this process is just a lot of thinking and sitting and typing Google Docs. That's why it's something I couldn't exactly show to the public, possibly leaving a bad and wrong impression of slacking of duty, but in reality it's intense brain work every day, planning the development, conceptualizing the gameplay. Speaking of Slack, what a nice segue that was. We used to use a program with this name for our team communications, but we moved from it, and now we're a bunch of happy Discorders. Unlike the former, at least this chat service won't hold hostage our text messages until we pay. A considerable amount of money, actually. Plus, it's accessible and good, lots of people use it nowadays, so if you're one of them, feel free to message me and I will send you an invite link to our Discord channel, our little mischievous oasis. Everyone is here, dev team, patrons, and just people who are interested in the Gateway of Realities projects. That's it for now. I will be releasing another video very soon and doing lots of talking about the item system and gameplay in general, so stay tuned for part 2, continuing this recap. Thanks to the amazing composer, the artist of absolutely beautiful epic music, Amoore. I'm honored to have his permission to use his tracks in my videos. But if you don't know of his work, you have to check it out. There's a link to his Bandcamp in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing if you want to see that video where I will be talking about very important things that define the game. Huge and unspeakable thanks to all Patreon supporters. It's all possible thanks to you, as we are all creating the game of our dreams together. If you want to join our Patreon, support and even influence development directly, you can click the link right on screen or in description down below. There are rewards too, ranging from leaving a text message on a cliff to getting a custom character in the game. I'm Sullyres. Have fun exploring your realities.